John restlessly roved over blue-green glens and high-rolling hills, ever questing for home. The Munro warrior rode atop a beautiful black steed, with 2 grey-maned Highland horses in tow. John journeyed across fast-running river fords and through thick pine forests, all the while ever wanting for the beautiful heather-riddled lands of Ross. The sun, fast falling, convinced the Munro to make a traveller's bid for the evening. During the trek home, he happened upon a nice piece to nest up for the night. It was a dry, straw-filled field, secluded and serene near the neighbourhood of Stratherdale. The Tutor of Phyllis decided that long, lonely stretch of straw would be the best place for a bed beneath the moon. Out in the open air, with the aid of a bright round raider's lamp, John settled his swift steed and tow for some well-earned rest. On a bed of straw, the mighty Munro, tired from travel, made a pillow of his plaid, then fell fast asleep. During the deepest, darkest part of that cloud-filled night, a few locals, with mischief on their minds and sickles in hand, came upon the sleeping John's camp. Those short-sighted deliverers of devilment found some fun with the Highlanders' horses. They snipped short the steeds' tails, and the pack animals' tails too. Then the devils slipped away back into the misty recesses of Stratherdale. Upon rising, John instantly spotted the short-snipped mounts. His fists clenched tight, and a dreadful fury became the first order for that dire day. The Munro, maddened by what was to him an insidious insult, drew his lang dirk and shook it at an indifferent sky. His freckled forehead furrowed, and the Munro warrior's mind burned bright, fueled with thoughts of the sword, the flame, and the fray. Through crooked, clenched teeth, the prideful Highlander snarled in a low, wild whisper, making a dark promise to the dawning day. He kissed his razor-sharp dirk to steal a silent oath. Riddled with rage, John could utter only one word: revenge. The maddened Munro rode home overly aware of his affront, and as such, in him a wild, boar-like temper continued to brew. The whole ride back he became more and more hard-hearted and hungry for retaliation. In John's malicious mind, he made plans for plundering the soon-to-be doleful folk of Stratherdale. It was a long, lonely ride for that wild mountain warrior. When his friends first saw him returning, they found the Tutor steaming and teeming with thoughts steadfast toward slaughter. John, relentless in his rage, rallied allies and clan to bring to the land of his insult a sad, fear-filled song of slash and flame. The fiery cross was at once sent out to muster the Munro. The cross was burnt on one side, on the other was a cut of white coat dipped in sheep's blood. Fleet of foot, the Highland warrior carried that symbol of strife round the mountain lands of John's clan. From one proud blade-ready soul-sower to the next it was passed. In remarkable time, the strongest warriors ready for the sword storm gathered at the clan's rally rock. There, among the war-ready kin, the Tutor of Phyllis told of how the Stratherdale folk must have thought his clansmen weak, long whining curs, for otherwise surely they would nae have been so crude and malicious in his treatment. John's affronted clansmen howled like wild wolves, sharing their leader's slight. Hundreds of the clansmen came to his call, and of them John handpicked the most hard-hearted, strongest and stoutest of warriors. Each pick-man among the Munro was ready to go to Stratherdale and furnish red feasts for the ravens. As one, 350 warriors raised their sturdy steel, all backing John's own bedevilled blade. Many of them were mail-clad warriors, all of them reapers of the red fray, keening for a crimson night. The warriors were well worked into a wild frenzy by the words of the iron will of John the Tutor of Phyllis. The mighty Monroe host, free of all mercy, marched for that woeful land with pride, plunder burning bright in their Highland hearts. When the clansmen arrived, mail-clad and merciless, they laid waste to the lands of Straffordale. Flame and sword was the wanton way of these warriors. That night became a time of slashing, raping, and rampant revenge. The Monroe killed without care, and Straffordale, that woeful place, fell to red-wrecked ruin. The hard-hearted raiters burnt homes, farms, and fields, and slaughtered the surprised folk wholesale. In every direction flames lit the faces of their horror-stricken foes. John and his warriors, with high laughter, made crimson meals of all the luckless men who tried to stand against them. The Tutor was far famed for his warcraft. He moved fleet of foot and slew Straffordale warriors all around him. The insulted Monroe from Phyllis waded deep into his foes with a fury of relentless red steel. He killed wild without fault in his blade work. Deathstrokes kept ever in his path slain enemies. Close by his combat stride bold fighters fell in heaps. When John was not carving carnage among his enemies, he hard-heartedly burned barns, fields, and foes in their homes. Straffordale cooked bright that night, a land filled with flames and fields soaked red with ravens' meat. Long would the people of that despoiled country sing sad songs and mourn the night of slaughter. They found no protection behind targes or iron-webbed coats of war. In droves the sorrowful folk fell, blood-stained and dreadful in their deaths. Mothers, lovers, and wives wildly wept and keened over the sad slaying of their kin. No son would ever envy the Straffordale defenders. Utter destruction and red defeat was the hard dish handed to them that sorrowful night. The land had been so well ravaged that even hounds could nae find a place to sleep.